What's up, everybody? Derek Anderson, the DA. All right, everybody, check it out. Another box office weekend is in the books. And once again, Lilo and Stitch takes first place. No problem at all. We all kind of expected that. But another movie that dropped this week was Ballerina. You guys know Ballerina is right there in my wheelhouse. This is the type of movie that I love, all right? From the world of John Wick. John Wick franchise, love it. Can't get enough of it. All right. I've watched everything that's come out from the John Wick franchise multiple times, including that TV show, The Continental. And yeah, I think it's dope. All right. Ballerina, no difference. All right. No difference at all. If you like John Wick, you'll like Ballerina. I'm damn sure of that. And look, audiences and critics seem to love it. The critics, 76% on the tomato meter, 94% on the popcorn meter. That is a hell of a good score for any movie. All right. If you're anywhere in the 90 percentiles when it comes to the popcorn meter with the audience score, that means you got the job done. All right, not just with the regular normie audience, but also with your highly critical fans. All right, your highly critical fans are watching this and saying, yeah, it's actually pretty good. Anything in the 90s. You know, it also got a pretty good cinema score. A- cinema score is not bad at all. All right, that's right in line with the first three phases. Marvel movies, all right, your average Marvel movie was about an A-. Again, that just means that audiences pretty much enjoyed this movie for the most part and would recommend this movie to friends and family, blah, 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 okay? But nevertheless, it didn't get the job done when it comes to the box office. On Deadline, why Ballerina didn't leap into the rafters with a $25 million opening. That's bad, man. That is a bad opening. We're talking about a movie that had a budget of about $80 to $90 million reportedly. And so if you add on another 80 to 90 million, let's say for the marketing, you're talking about a movie that spent somewhere in the neighborhood of about $180 million. And it's going to need $360 million to break even. This movie ain't breaking even. All right. This is going to be a flop. And, you know, when you sit back and think about it, it's like, why is this a flop? It comes from a very popular universe where all the other movies made money. Everything else in the John Wick universe made its money back and then some. This movie has the same things that all the other John Wick movies has great stunt choreography, has some insane set pieces. The set piece with the grenades in this movie is absolutely astounding, man. It is outstanding work. The guys over there, Chad Stahelski and the crew, they know what the hell it is that they're doing, all right? And then you're talking about that ending with the flamethrowers. Holy shit, man. I'm going to watch this movie again in theaters. I guarantee it, because this is my jam. This is absolutely what I love. And it's not like John Wick isn't in the movie. John Wick is absolutely in this movie. All right. We've seen that in the trailers, and he's not just a cameo. All right. He actually is very pivotal towards the end of the movie. He has a very important part to play, you know, so it has everything that John Wick fans would want. And it has Ana de Armas, okay? Ana de Armas, very easy on the eyes, right? Very easy on the eyes. And look, this chick leans into the stunt work, man. She leans into the stunt work. There are some moments you can tell, yeah, that's a stunt double. But when you can see it's Ana de Armas, it's like, oh, no, she was doing some of her stunts, all right? And she's not a girl boss in this movie. Yeah, sure. Are there moments that you could say, yo, no chick would survive that, all right? No chick would survive what just happened to her in this movie. Sure, there's a lot of that. But this is the John Wick universe. We've seen John Wick fall down an entire flight of stone stairs. Twice. He fell down all of them steps in John Wick 4. We laughed it off and enjoyed the ending because it's John Wick. So to me, this movie should have did a lot better, but I'm starting to wonder, are people just checked out from anything that even smells like girl boss? Like if, oh, no, that smells like girl boss. No, I'm out of here. Is that what's going on? All right. Is this little genre of movies like the female action star, you know, is this over? Are people just checked out from this forever? Because a movie like this, in my opinion, this is one of the better female action hero movies that we've gotten in a while. Okay. It's a really, really good movie. And on top of it, it's from the makers of John Wick. And if you trust the makers of John Wick, if you trust Chad Stahelski and the gang, he came in, he wasn't the director, but he did the stunt choreography and everything. I mean, it got the job done, in my opinion. You saw the audience scores and the critic scores and everything. People seem to like the movie. But it seems like audiences are like, nope, I'm out. I'm out. And so now that's the question. Are we done with female action heroes? Is that what's going on, or is there something else happening? Let's go ahead and check this out. So it says, one of the most intriguing yet mind-boggling dynamics in movie-going is that which prevents audiences from getting up off the couch, even when the word of mouth out there is great on a movie. Such was the dilemma this weekend for Lionsgate John Wick offshoot Ballerina, which didn't budge from a $25 million opening, even after an A- cinema score, one of the best in the Wick franchise. While that grade for the Len Wiseman-directed movie is under the franchise's best in show, John Wick Chapter 4's A, it's well above the original John Wick's B, and in the same company as John Wick 2 and 3, which also nabbed A-minuses. Friday for the Ana de Armas movie was $10.65 million, including previews, with Saturday down to $8.2 million. Sunday forecast at $6.1 million. It says the global start was $51 million. Yeah, so again, it's right in line with all of these other John Wick movies, okay? It's not like, man, this thing was like a B-, it was trash. Like, no. This thing is right up in there in the middle of Chapter 4. It's right there within Chapter 3 and Chapter 2. If you like those movies, like, I liked them, all right? I loved them. So I do understand, though, there is a stigma anytime you see a female action hero, which is why I ask, is that coming to an end? Yeah, Cosmic Book News had this one, right? Ballerina bombs. Fans don't want a female John Wick. I mean, I guess. Is that the case? Fans are just not interested in female John Wick, or maybe just female action heroes in general. Not necessarily of the John Wick variety, because we've had female action heroes in the past, whether it's Scarlett Johansson playing all of the different action heroes that she's played, or then you're talking about Charlize Theron. Charlize Theron's done a lot. You had the Resident Evils, you had the Underworlds, although those have more of a horror vibe. But the body count is still there, right? Like, the body count in this movie is probably higher than the body count in some of those Resident Evil movies or Underworld. I mean, she's just piling them up. So is that the case? People just don't want to watch women shoot shit up. Like, is that what's really happening? Maybe. Maybe we're seeing this genre just kind of collapse in on itself, because if you can't get a John Wick, female John Wick to jump off, then, yeah, you might as well just stop, in my opinion. But again, I like the movie. This is what Cosmic Book News says. It's no surprise if you ask me, but it's learned Ballerina has bombed at the box office and is coming in well under expectations. The trades are writing articles wondering why the flick is a failure in an attempt to shill, but the answer is pretty obvious. Fans don't want a female John Wick. I mean, yeah, and I go back here, like, they seem to like it, the people that went to watch it. Now, if other people went to watch it, or maybe they're just waiting for home video, maybe the reality is that Ana de Armas just isn't that kind of household name yet. She's not going to put butts in seats just by her being in the movie. That's why they were throwing Keanu Reeves all in the advertisements and in the trailers and everything. It's like, look, this is John Wick, guys. John Wick, go watch it because of John Wick and not because of Ana de Armas. I think that might have a lot to do with it as well. It's like, all right, I mean, she's cute as hell, but am I going to go watch a movie just for her? I don't know about that one. That might not be the case. Really, they don't want anybody else but Keanu Reeves as John Wick, who watched The Continental. I mean, I get that point. I watched The Continental. I liked it. But I get that point because, again, we like John Wick. Do we necessarily like his universe? Do we want to see more from that universe? With the Continental and the High Table and all the various assassins running around killing each other. All right. I don't know. That's a good point. Keanu Reeves is a major big box office star. And, he probably alone brings a lot of people in just based on him. So, the action besides, I don't know if people necessarily want to see more out of this universe other than John Wick. I do. I'm going to watch everything that comes out of this universe because I'm a huge fan. But other people are like, and this box office is kind of proving it. He goes on to say fans are not interested in female assassins movie. I don't think there's been one successful female action movie. David Leitch who directed the first John Wick. He went on and directed Atomic Blonde. That only made 100 million worldwide, 51 million domestically. Yeah, but see, like the first John Wick didn't make $100 million at all, right? Yeah, the original John Wick, $86 million worldwide, and that's back in the day. You got to adjust for inflation. It's probably well over like $150 million once you adjust for inflation. But yeah, it did start off like making all kinds of crazy money, but they also kept the budget low. That was the thing. John Wick had a very, very low budget. They didn't really get into the crazy budgets until part 3. Yeah, and then John Wick Chapter 2, 171 million worldwide. So, yeah, I mean, it did pretty good for itself on its second outing. Again, with a small budget. I don't know if Ballerina gets to $200 million. I mean, I got to see what it does internationally. But at the end of the day, yeah, I mean, this is crazy for a movie that's actually really good, and you start to wonder, okay, are studios just going to pull back and say, you know what? Girl bosses haven't been working, all right? All right, Furiosa didn't work, all right? That lost a ton of bread, all right? Exact same kind of scenario, too. In the Mad Max universe, and they threw a Mad Max, clone in there, a little bit, but it really was about her, and it's like nobody wants a female Mad Max either. So does nobody want these female action movies? Are we done with this? And, like Terminator Dark Fate, like that thing was terrible, right? What is the status right now of female action movies? All right. Are we done with those? I mean, Jennifer Lawrence was the first one of all time. So that was a short-lived run, Hunger Games did very well, but it's an action movie versus Assassins. Maybe that's a little bit of a differentiation, and people ain't really coming for this. But you guys let me know what you think. I'm really curious to hear what you guys think about this. Is the female action hero done, or do we have to put them in like settings like Hunger Games, more of that dystopian flavor that might still work? But, when you're talking about like actual assassins, femme fatales, if you will, this ain't really going to work anymore. I'm curious what you guys think. Go ahead, jump down in the comments. Give me your thoughts and opinions on that. Thanks for watching. See you next time.